We got a crazy new legendary. He's awesome for the Hydra. What more is there to say? Let's get it. What up, team? It's MurderInc here, back again with another banger of a video. We have Archbishop Pinthroy, support legendary Sacred Order champion. This guy's looking mean. This guy is looking like angelic but mean. He's got an awesome staff here. Really like the looks. I mean, the helmet's a bit questionable, don't get me wrong, but this guy screams Hydra. Let's go over his kit. I'm gonna build him for you. I do like the Roman Catholic kind of look he does have. As someone who grew up very Greek Orthodox, this looks very similar to what I witnessed growing up in church. So this is cool to see for sure. So let's go over the kit here. We have an A3 Gleam of Glory 4-turn cooldown, very high cooldown if not booked, heals all allies by 30% of their max HP. Not a huge fan of this part. This is the only, I think, downside to his kit. I like it when it's based off of this champion's HP instead of theirs, because you can have some allies with very low base HP, which is common in this game, and it adds up to a kind of weak heal overall. So it's going to be 30% no matter what. Then places the defense up buff on all allies for 2 turns. Great if 4 or more allies are alive. They should be. Get good. Also places a shield buff for 2 turns equal to 30% of their max HP once again. So it is what it is. They keep using the allies max HP, so this could be better. But overall, increased defense, shield, 4-turn cooldown, and a heal. Not bad for 1 skill, and that's just 1 skill. So now to the A2, which I really like here. So increase accuracy, we have a 3-turn cooldown on all allies for 2 turns, then attacks all enemies. Why this is key is because once he attacks all enemies, he places a heal reduction and has a 75% chance up to 100% chance of placing the beautiful block buffs that is so good, is so good for the Hydra. And if it's from Demon Spawn Undead, Night Rev cannot be resisted, so you wouldn't need accuracy for this champion. But the fact that you wouldn't probably find too much content unless there's new content coming. Like I said before in a video, we have been seeing lots of these kind of unique amplifier and nuance to the skills here, so I'm looking forward to whatever they have to do with this. But increase accuracy first, very smart, which applies to the skills that are then going to be applied. Heal reduction, really strong. Block buffs, also very strong. Now it does hit the target, so it will suffer from weak affinity. One thing to keep in mind, another minor downside here, but so far we're only at 6 books total. I like it a lot. Moving on to the A1, attacks 1 enemy, transfers 1 random debuff from this champion to the target, a little bit like Lysandra here, but it does need accuracy, of course. Then also has a 75% chance of stealing 1 random buff from the target, also very strong for an A1 ability for sure. Moving on to the passive here, removes all defense down and weaken debuffs from this champion at the start of each turn. Would have liked it, would have made more sense for legendary if it was from all allies. Maybe that's too strong. Listen, his kit's good, but I would have liked if it was a benefit for the whole team for sure, because we are getting that weaken from the Hydra here. So as far as the aura goes, we have increases accuracy in all battles by 50. Really good as well, especially in progression situations. So like I said, right off the bat, like this champion a lot. I started building it and said, you know, why not just build it here? How would I build this? I'm not going to rely on that weird faction bonus thing, so we do want defense, we want HP. He needs to be tanky. We have 20,000 base HP, very good, very good. I hate seeing supports with low base HP. And then defense, we have 1100, just shy of 1200 base defense, very strong. Speed 101, anything over 100 is fantastic. Base res 40, base accuracy 20. This is good for Hydra specifically, because you will need both stats for sure here. So I am going to approach this kind of, I mean, maybe I won't approach this as far as building it for Hydra, because he can be good for progression, but you know what, we're going to do that. So let's focus on HP first. As we all know, HP is the best survivability stat in this game, hands down. So HP defense, that's not a bad ring already. Let's see, 20, 17, 13, and then we have 21. Okay, I like this one a lot. We're going to commit to this ring here. Now, as far as the set goes, Personally, I like adding regen. It adds a lot of survivability and sustain for champions like this, but it's not a very common set to have. It requires lots of endgame farming of the Fire Knight, which I know a lot of players haven't quite hit that threshold yet. So if you have a lot of regen gear and you can build accuracy and resistance, as well as a comfortable amount of HP, defense, and speed, I know that's a lot, trust me. Then I would go for regen. If not, then I would go for speed and then perception. I think those are going to be the two ideal cases for this champion here. So what am I going to do? I believe I'm going to, you know what? Let's kind of appeal to everybody here. I'm going to go with the speed and then perception gear. So let's go ahead and look for speed boots with accuracy on the substat. Easy, bada bing. I know I have perception ones, very strong. Triple roll. Double roll, we'll take the double roll, try it on. As far as this goes, I want to find a resistance chest piece with accuracy or vice versa. And I think I have a pretty decent one in perception as well. Let's have a gander. Do you have it? Yes. Resistance, triple accuracy. That's a bit crazy. We have 2 accuracy, 1 speed, also very strong. And then finally 2 speed, 0 accuracy. So of course, this one is going to win for sure here. So now we're getting pretty close here. We do have to remember that we are going to get an increased accuracy buff. So I am going to focus a little bit more on the resistance side for sure. Now I think our speed is also slowly becoming very strong here. So let's just search straight up for resistance and speed. We're going to go for 1 more perception set. And I think then I'll be fine for most difficulties, actually all difficulties, including Nightmare. So let's go accuracy, speed, resistance. I'm going to try this one on for now. As we can see, that was who I was currently using. Pretty even across the board here. Do I stick with that or do I try? Okay, this one's really good. Legendary piece. You can't go wrong. So 471 accuracy. Now we have plenty for sure. Now we're really going to focus on speed and resistance here. And a helmet. I could go with the resistance set, but if I can avoid it, I'm going to. So let's go with the speed set here. 225 is decent for this champion, but I'd want him to be a little bit faster. So, hey, HP percent roll, triple resistance on the substats. Listen, sometimes things just work out, don't they? And then another triple resistance roll here. Perfect. So we have 65,000 health. Pretty tanky. Defense, good enough. We're going to want defense up for sure to make sure all of this is smooth. 433 resistance. It's going to be about 70 shy from where you would want it, but ideally you would pair this with champion that also provides decreased accuracy on the opponent here. If not, I would definitely want to raise this 70 more, making it 500 resistance, so we can complete normal through the Nightmare Hydra. So let's go ahead, equip this gear for sure. I know a lot of these accessories aren't glyphs, so what are we going to do as far as masteries go? So we have debuffs on this guy, we have buffs, which means we want to take full advantage of the support tree. Since I know I'm good on accuracy, I can heavy focus on more health and I can increase his heals. He has a heal and a shield here, so I have a lot that I can do with this, but I have to be careful here because Arcane Celerity as well as Rapid Response are going to be very strong mastery choices for this champion. So I have to figure out a way to get this here, and then somehow get across to here. And I don't think it's possible, which is kind of unlucky. So if I had to bank on one thing, I think shields overall are going to be the strongest part of Hydra for sure. And I'm going to miss. Okay, so this is where it really comes down to the choice and how things work here. So we either go for increased turn meter, meaning he gets more turns, can apply his buffs more, or the value of what he's casting is increased. Now I'm going to take a gamble here and say this is going to be the best approach for me personally, Arcane Celerity and Rapid Response, because we have buffs and debuffs. It's very strong in a champion like this. Let's go for Merciful Aid. For the True Fear, in case you don't have Inquisitor Shamail, this is going to help out a lot. Increase that healing on champions. If you do have him, you would go with Cycle of Magic here. Then Lasting Gifts, of course, followed by Lore of Steel, and then Master Hexer. Now for the last one, if you don't care about damage for this guy, which he's an AoE damage dealer, so he's going to benefit quite a bit from War Master, as opposed to if you didn't take it. So if your survivability, if you're feeling good about it, I would just straight up go in a straight line like this, all the way down, to War Master here. You can take Life Drinker instead of Single Out. It doesn't really matter, but I guess a 5% heal. Listen, it is what it is. But like I said, if you really don't care about damage and you want to focus on survivability, you would then in fact go for the defense tree, take something like Tough Skin, Blast Proof, Resurgent. Then you can kind of choose here. Delay Death is going to be strong, and Retribution, you only get to choose one here, so probably Cycle of Revenge isn't going to be that good because, like I said, PvE content, they only have a 15% chance of critting, so you're not going to get a ton of value here. I think Retribution is probably going to be the best bet because of his A1 ability. Having some type of use here, transferring debuffs, very strong, as well as stealing a random buff in case it's the Head of Wrath or something like that. So that's how I would gear him. That's how I would mastery this champion if you're going to use him. I mean, there's no arguing how strong it's going to be. For the Hydra, increased defense, shield, heal, then he has increased accuracy on your whole team, heal reduction, block buffs. You really can't go wrong. And then the passive, which is okay for the weekend that's applied on him alone. So now that that's out of the way, I'm not going to do a Hydra run because it's going to be hard for me to showcase a team. His kit's pretty self-explanatory as far as how good he's going to do in the Hydra, because we've all been suffering through that content for more time than I care to admit and talk about. So let's go ahead and take a look at his animations, how cool they look. And of course, he's not going to be limited strictly to the Hydra boss. He's going to be good in many aspects of the game, which is pretty apparent based on what his kit does. One place you could even use him is going to be Arena. However, keep in mind that Arena magic affinity nukers are quite common in the Arena, which is why Duchess, she's meta because her kit's so overpowered. She has tons of mitigation. This guy does not have that, so he's probably going to fall over instantly. Like instantly. But let's take a look at Holy Word here. This is the increased accuracy first, and then the block debuffs. So this is kind of like a cardio effect, where we have cardio single target, kind of like light burst. This is just an AoE. Like it a lot. Man, he looks really good in game. That was his A1, which is awesome. Burn the heretics. Let's just see that A1 one more time. Yeah, I really like that. So now we have the AoE heal. Okay, that might be new. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong here, but that might be new as far as effects go. Let's take a look at this one more time. Okay, so this guy's animations, Plarium, you did great. I like this a lot. I'm a little bit obsessed. We have what is this? We have like a magical orb. Okay, so this guy, he's just screams angelic. Let's look at this A3 one more time. I've never been so impressed with an ability that applies buffs to people. This is literally like the higher power is shedding light on your whole team. So that's really cool. I'm a huge fan of that. And then, of course, the Wrath being the light Wrath, being the complete opposite of that A3 ability, just wreaking havoc. So, yeah. Really impressed with this guy's animations. He's going to be huge for progression. He's going to be awesome for Hydra. I like that they're focusing on Hydra champions. This is the smart thing to do. They should have done this for sure. If you get this guy, it's a no-brainer. He's good. I can't think of any account unless you have, I guess my account, he wouldn't be crazy on, but I have 2 Umbrals, I have Gerptuck, I think I have 2 Gerptucks as well, so I'm all set on as far as the block buffs department goes. But still, he has increased accuracy, he has shield, increased defense. I would honestly probably use this champion, I'm not going to lie, and I cannot say that about a lot of champions because quite often I would say, oh, it's good, but I probably couldn't use him. This guy is someone that it would be hard for me to ignore as far as the Hydra. It's annoying. You have 3 keys, 3 difficulties, or whatever you're doing progression-wise. So as far as me using this champion, I would say yes. For the first time in a very long time, I would say this is someone that I would use as a support champion that's unique enough to where he fits in this game, to where I can see benefit for even my account. So early game to end game, it's kind of weird hearing me say this, but you have use for him. You do in fact have use for him unless you have like 3 champ forts, 3 Krisks that you can use. Even then, I would say this guy still competes pretty hard based on how strong this guy's kit is. So give me your thoughts, give me your feedback. Do you agree with what I just said there? Do you think he's not as good as I'm making him out to be? It's quite possible. I haven't been really disappointed with any of the legendaries so far, as far as the new ones. So give me your thoughts, give me your feedback for sure. If you enjoy this content, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next upload.